Hope you're doing well. Someone asked me by email why I turned these lights on behind me, and it's to give you something interesting to look at rather than me. So there you go. This Sunday at the gathering, we're going to approach a topic that I first thought about when I was in seminary and we were reading great sermons of other preachers. It's a good way to learn how to preach. And Harry Emerson Fosdick once preached a sermon that was entitled Handling Life's Second Best. And it was excellent. The premise of that basically was what mine will be on Sunday morning, though it's my sermon, is that few of us get to live out life on the basis of our first choices. We live huge chunks of our life out on second, third, fourth, fifth choices, things that we didn't imagine wanting or choosing in life, but they come to us, and in some way we spiritually have to make the most of them. And we'll look at passages that help us with that. There's a passage in Acts that we will look at about, it's chapter 16, verses 6 through 10, how Paul's first choices in sending the gospel around the world didn't come to pass. For whatever reason, he was not allowed into Asia, into other places. We'll look at a prayer that Jesus made where he acknowledges that some things in life are just hidden from us and that we would trust God in their hiddenness to understand them. And Romans 8:28 is always good to pull out here, how God works with us for good even when things are not exactly what we hoped they would be. So when I was in the 5th grade, I won an award. I know that's thrilling to you, but it was for me. I was a year younger than all of my classmates, and so athletically I always kind of tried to scramble to keep up until I could catch up. But in the 5th grade, I came in second place in the softball throw. We had a day called May Day, and we called it Play Day. And it's where we would actually compete in various exercises and events at the end of school. I'm sure for the teachers, it was a day to get out of the classroom and get the energy out of us, but they really made a big deal out of it. There were all kinds of events where you could win a ribbon, but back in that day, everybody didn't get a ribbon. You didn't get a ribbon for participating. You got a ribbon if you won something, and they gave out first place and second place awards. Well, I was thrilled with mine. I didn't know much better. I stuck my second place ribbon on my clothes, and I went back to class that afternoon smiling all over because I had won second place. And man, I wasn't ready for the response to that. I took a lot of teasing. A lot of my friends laughed about the second place ribbon, and I noticed I was the only one in the room wearing one. There were some first place ribbons, but nobody was wearing the second place ribbon. And a good friend of mine, a buddy, took me aside and said, "Take that thing off. These people are laughing at you. Take that thing off. You're not cool wearing a second place ribbon. Nobody wants that." And that's probably true in some ways. And I know there's exceptions. I know Olympic athletes, track athletes are proud to place and to finish. And so I'm not being overly literal here, but what I want to try to deal with on Sunday is how do we deal with not getting what we want? How do we deal with looking up and realizing, this wasn't exactly as I planned it, or my dreams have been shattered and I am having to work through that and settle for something else. Where is God in that process? How might I access Him in that process? What is He trying to teach or tell me in that process? So I think it'll be good to look at some biblical examples of folk who we learn from in the Bible that did not get their first choice. Abraham comes to mind, others that we'll kind of glance through to remind us. But mainly we will remind ourselves on Sunday morning that, that's really the way life is. I have never gotten everything I wanted, and I need to have a realistic perspective about the things I have. So come Sunday, let's talk about finishing in second and see what the Bible has to say about it. I hope you have a good week.